Hi friends, next we will cover application builder form and form with report. So basically this if we click on application builder, this is the application builder. To start with, we need to create an application first. On that application we can create pages and thus create our application. So first we will click on the create button. We'll click on new application. Application name Apex demo. So these are coming by default. So Apex demo, appearance, feature side menu. We are not going to add any page now. We'll add page later. So authentication is application express authentication. We'll click on create application. So the application is created. We can run the application. It will ask for username. It's Apex account username. So I'll have to give my Apex account. Sign in. So this is the application. Our home page doesn't contain anything, just a blank application. So that's about the application, running the application. Now we'll create a page. We create a page by clicking on the create page. What kind of page we want to create? We want to create a form. We just want to create a form first. Name of the form should be DPT form. Branch to submit means where you want to go from here. So this is page 1. On cancel also you want to go to page 1. Next. So table, I have my schema Subrata where I created all the tables, and in my tables I have this departments table. I'll select that, click next. So I already have all this. Primary key column is department ID, create. So we have this department table, department form created. Now in this department form, this is the department ID. This is a hidden because it is a primary key, and we have a default value where we will set it to a sequence, and name of the sequence, we'll just duplicate this, go to SQL Workshop, object browser, and then we select sequences. So it's departments SEQ. So here we will give the name as departments SEQ and save. Now if we run the form, so we have a department name, so we can write test, manager ID, location ID, we'll leave them blank. This is create. Row created. So the department is created. So if you now go to the object browser and click on the tables, the departments table, the departments, we restrict the data, what test department should come, There you go. A test department is created. So this is how you create a form on Apex. Next we will show you how to create a form with a report. So we'll go to our application, then we'll create a page. This time we'll select form, and this time form with a report. We can select interactive report, interactive grid, or classic report. Any type of report you can select. Let's select interactive report. Report page name is says department summary. Form page name is department detail. Okay. Click next. Click next. Okay. So I will select the same departments table. So these are the columns which it will show in the report. Click next. Select primary key. We have to select department ID as a primary key and create. So this is the department summary. This is page number 3. If you go to page number 4, this is the department detail. This is a form, and page number 3. Page number 3 is the report. So we have to run the report. So we run the report. So this is the report for all the departments. Now if we want to update any department, we can update. Manager ID, I can change it to say 300 and apply changes. Parent key not found. Maybe I'll cancel this. Manager ID is 201. So let's change the manager ID of administration to 201. 201. Apply changes. Row updated. So the manager ID is changed to 201. Now I can also delete a record. So the department that we created, test department, we can delete that record. Confirm, would you like to perform this delete action? Okay. So row deleted. So the record is deleted. In this way you can also create a department. Like let's create a department test. Manager ID 201. Create. Oh, sorry, I did not populate I did not populate the department ID. Department ID is here hidden, but I have to give a default value. Default value should be sequence, and the sequence name should be department SQL. Save. Now if I go to the departments table, I have to reload the page. Reload. So if I give test and try to create, now it is created. Now we can see that the test department is created. If you want, you can also modify it. Like say I want to add manager ID 201, apply changes, row updated. So this is how you create a form with a report. And if you see the app builder page, we have these items. This is the department ID. This is a number field. You can have all this in your item like varchar, number, date, timestamp, time zone, timestamp with local time zone, interval year to month, interval day to second, blob, OIDP file. We can create these data types, and then type, you can have all this type: checkbox, date picker, display image, display only, file browser, hidden, list manager, markdown editor, number field, password, person graph, pop-up, LOB, radio group, rich text editor, select list, shuttle, star rating, switch, text field with autocomplete, text area. So all these different types of items you can create in Apex. And these are the region buttons. We have the cancel button, we have the delete button, save and create. Save, it's conditional. So if you see, there is a server side condition, item is not null. Item is not null before department ID. So save will only appear when the department ID is populated. That means when there is an existing record, only in that case save will appear. Create will appear, on the contrary, when the item is null. When the department ID is null, that means when it's a new record, then the button create will appear. So save will appear when there is a record, already existing record, the save which says apply changes. If you see the save button, label is apply changes. So apply changes will appear when there is a record, and create will appear when there is no record. That is, it's the first time you are entering a record, new record. Similarly, you have for delete and cancel, doesn't have any condition, it will always appear, and on cancel it will go to page 1. Now about processing, if you see this process from department details, this is a form automatic row processing DML. So automatic row processing DML, it actually is responsible for loading the form and also applying the DML changes. That is, insert, update, delete, whatever you are doing. To process that, we have this process. This process, automatic row processing DML, this is an Apex supplied process. So we don't have a custom process here, but we will create a custom process later when we are discussing custom process in our Apex course. But as of now, please bear in mind that every form that you create, every form page that you create, there will be a process created by Apex by default to process the data for that particular table. So that's pretty much about department's form. Now let's go to the department reports. It's 3. Department reports, if you see, these are the columns, and if you go to department ID, okay, this is report, this is an interactive report. This is an interactive report. Department ID, department name, manager ID, location ID, all these are fine. Now in the attributes, you can see there is a link column and link to a custom target. And what is the target? Target is page 4 and P4 department ID. This value is set to hash department ID hash. This one is the report department ID. So in the report, whatever is the department ID, that department ID is set to P4 department ID, because when we are going to the form, We are querying the form and bringing up the record. So what says, say for department 20, when we click on this button, we are going to department 20. Now how it's coming to department 20 in the form is basically that P4 department ID is populated with 20, and then when the automated process queries the record, it queries for department 20. That's how the ID is passed from the report to the form. So that's pretty much about application builder, brief overview of application builder and forms with report. Thank you for watching. Bye. See you in the next session.